But I have a lot to talk about real quickly, which is why I'm going to have this going on. That way there's a little bit of visual stimulation because there's something really important I have to tell everybody. When we first started, and thank you everybody for being here. The show was pretty small. There was only like 7 people who'd watch it, I think, or 5 people. Like Magnificent Devil would be there. Credence Desire was there. I think Mike Hunt, I actually kind of remember somewhat early on. This was probably in early summer, right? All these people who show up, uh, where these people who show up where they start asking you for favors and leeching, and let me show you what I mean. I made a list, a non-schizo list, because I'm not a schizo. I don't have any brain damage. People keep asking me. There's a rumor that someone started that I have brain damage, but I don't have brain damage. So I made a list of all these people who've done me wrong. So let's start with the top, okay? This is probably the worst person on the internet is Hojo. I'd say Hojo is probably the worst person on the internet. Hojo is so horrible. Let me show you why. He made this post, and he keeps antagonizing me for no reason. Like, I'll just be going my normal day, and he keeps trying to stir stuff up. And he has this very strange obsession with Doritos. For some reason, he's always talking about Doritos. So let me pull this up so I can show you. I'm going to pull this up for you. Vanity Fair says, of course, Luke Skywalker is gay, confirms Mark Hamill, echoing thousands of fan fiction prayers. And then Hojo says, I've been saying this for 30 years. I'm happy he's living his authentic self finally. So, Hojo hates Star Wars. But you know what else he hates? He hates Cool Ranch Doritos. He keeps tagging me, telling me about how bad Cool Ranch Doritos are. And so, let me go back to this, okay? And people who keep saying that I have like head damage for going on these rants, you guys are so stupid. I don't have head damage. You can ask my wife. I don't have any head damage at all. But let me show you this. This is how I feel about Hojo, okay? I made this actually just because of him. So right here we have Hojo. He's going on the list, okay? Hojo and his stupid war against Ranch Doritos. Wow, this is harder to move than I thought. In his stupid war against Ranch Doritos, So here's Hojo. He's on the list. And John Malin, a lot of people really like John Malin, but he canceled me back in September. I kept emailing him and sending him these text messages at 12 in the morning, asking him for free coverage, asking him for free advertising, demanding that his platform be mine, and he didn't listen. So John Malin's on the list. Riley sent me this package. He sent me this package of a sailor costume. So, except for it wasn't even a sailor costume because he couldn't find a sailor hat. So he just went to Krispy Kreme's and it had a Krispy Kreme's hat. But he was making some very strange innuendo. So Riley is on the list. Justin Belmont. You see, Justin Belmont made a comic book. He made a comic book about people in Comicsgate, and I wasn't in it, And I should have been in it because everybody knows me, everybody cares about me. I'm the most important person in the movement. So Justin Belmont's on the list. Jim Satala, he's an Italian, but you think of Italians as being like mobsters, sometimes being like super passionate and angry, but he's extremely calm, hardly emotional. He never gets mad at you. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He wouldn't ice someone and put cement shoes on them. Jim Satala is just too kind. He wouldn't do anything like that. Which is stupid because he's an Italian. Like, he should be wearing a suit, icing people, putting cement shoes on them and just throwing them in the river. But he doesn't do that, which is sad because, he's actually kind of wealthy. So, you'd think that he'd be more of a criminal. Katydid's going on the list too because people like watching her show more than mine, which isn't cool because it's obviously, I don't know. People like watching her show more than mine. It's just because she's a girl. It's not because she's good at promotion. It's not because she's really nice. It's not because she's sweet. It's not because she has a Southern accent that a lot of people like. It's just because, sexism and gaming. So I'm gonna put her on the list. And then Mike Partika. This is probably he makes these reviews which are like super granular, and in these reviews he says things like. He just gets so focused on these little details, and it's super annoying. And every time I watch one of his videos, I contract autism. I've contracted autism probably 40 times by watching his videos, and they're super long-winded. So Mike Partika is on the list. And I don't know, guys, if more people keep coming after me, I'm gonna have to put more people on the list. So and you know what? All of you guys saying that I have a freaking brain damage and stuff, like that's a lie. I don't have anything like that. You guys are all stupid. I don't know who started that rumor. I'll say that Mike Partika started it. Uncapped Turtle for a member chat said, well, am I on the list? Head injury? No, you aren't on the list yet, Uncapped Turtle. But if you guys keep this stuff up, then you might end up making it on the list. So this is what I have. Atoy Fanboy said, finally, Hojo's Doritos Hibity is taken to task. Exactly. I am so sick of this. I'm so sick of like all this stuff that Hojo's doing. I can't really, I can only do this for so long. Alex Hart said, oh, hey, JJ and CG. Hail CG. Hail Comicsgate. Except for all you people on the list. Not hail to Hojo. No hail to John Malin or Riley, Justin Belmont, Jim Satala, Katydid, Mike Partika. All of you guys can go jump in a lake. Grim Jim said, JJ would have 1 million subs if it were not for us. Yeah, it's all Grim Jim's fault. Grim Jim's on the list. All of you guys are on the list. So, yeah, I gave my life to Comicsgate. Mr. Yonofui understands me. I gave my life for Comicsgate. Mr. Yonofui gave his life for Comicsgate too. And for what? What have you guys given me? What have you guys given me? That's why you're all on the list. That's my real enemy list. So all of those people are going down very strategically, very methodically. I'm going to be watching each of those people, like the same way that a scientist observes, a frog in a under a in his terrarium. And speaking of all these people, I tried telling Ethan. I tried telling him actually. I told him that. I told Ethan actually about what all these horrible people had done to me. Sorry. That John Malin wasn't give. I sent John Malin like 40 text messages at 12 a.m. and he didn't respond. And Ethan didn't respond to that message. Where I was telling him about it. So I guess Ethan might make the list. Really, he might end up making it. I might have to put him on. He's facilitating. He's aiding and abetting terrorism. Luffy is God said, keep EVS off the list. That will hurt him more. Ethan who? Yeah, Ethan who? Nobody knows who Ethan is. I don't have to put him on the list. Let me show you guys my beef with Patrick Quinlan. I had him on my show. A few weeks ago, actually. A few months ago. But yeah, I let people on my show, artists, writers, that way they can promote their stuff. But sometimes people aren't gracious. I let them into my home, and it's like Bilbo Baggins. All these people, they start using your cutlery, they start burning your corks and stuff. They just bring mud all the way in, dull the knives, smash the fork or smash the plates and smash the bowls. Like the dwarves from The Hobbit. Really, it's horrible. Horrible people. So here I am with Patrick Quinlan, promoting his comic for free. And look what ended up happening. Let me show you.
You son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, screw you. You disingenuous homosexual. Yeah, see? That's how Patrick treated me after I pulled him on my show for free. I pulled him on my show, giving him free advertising, and that's how he treated me. And of course I responded in the only way possible, the only way I could. Thanks for taking the time to watch this clip. Catch me live on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Have a great rest of your day, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.